Do you believe that these people may look different, but they don't feel pain and only show happy expressions? What's really going on here? At first I thought I'd seen enough, but nothing could have prepared me for the bizarre turn of events that followed. Imagine someone being coaxed by a bug, their eyes bulging in shock, while others had their faces completely covered by beetles the size of eggs, crawling over their skin as if it were the most natural thing in the world. There was even a moment when a meaty grape appeared, looking so appetizing you'd want to offer it to a friend, if, of course, your friend happened to love grapes. But the real reason everyone started acting so strangely was far more sinister. They had all been attacked by butterflies. These weren't ordinary butterflies, but terrifying otherworldly creatures. Some people, cowardly and desperate, managed to gain the favor of a mysterious goddess, and in a moment of sacrifice chose to end their own lives to save others. Ironically, this made them the fastest people in the world to lose weight, as they were sucked into a pool of sweat within just 2.5 seconds. In the chaos, a strong-willed girl grabbed a 40-meter-long knife and tried to stab one of the monstrous butterflies, only to discover that its shell was harder than diamond. What could they possibly do now? Just when all hope seemed lost, the goddess sprang into action, lighting a can of bug spray. Under the intense heat, she finally managed to kill the giant butterfly, and for a brief moment it seemed like things might return to normal. But safety was short-lived, as a giant bee suddenly swooped in, capturing many of the girls. The goddess tried everything to catch the bee, but it was no use. Instead, she was stung, and in a bizarre twist, gave the bee a chrysanthemum and an anesthetic, then brought it back to the school as if it were a prized pet. The goddess knew that if she didn't act quickly, her best friend would be bitten to death by the swarm, so she bravely broke into Nifeng's school. At first, a selfish bully tried to stop her, but when his own friends were in danger, he rushed forward without a second thought, almost losing his life in the process. Nifeng noticed the commotion and hurried over, but the goddess intervened just in time, confusing everyone with her quick thinking and allowing the bully to join her in saving Nifeng. When they finally opened the door, what they saw shocked everyone. Nifeng was biting people, yet those being bitten seemed to enjoy it. As it turned out, Nifeng had injected them with something that transformed pain into pleasure, a cruel and twisted form of sacrifice that disgusted the onlookers. Outraged, they began to fight back, but with the death of the larva, the injections stopped, and the hosts were left screaming in real pain. One student, regaining his senses, cried out for help to the schoolmaster, but upon seeing the students crawling with insects, One student, regaining his senses, cried out for help to the schoolmaster. But upon seeing the students crawling with insects, the schoolmaster panicked and ran away, leaving everyone else to fend for themselves. The bully, unwilling to let his brother be eaten alive, returned to the school and found him, but the noise alerted Nifeng. In the ensuing chaos, the bully managed to spray insecticide on Nifeng's head, giving the girl a chance to escape. She urged the bully to run, but he insisted on saving her, so she bravely lured Nifeng away herself. Afterward, she found a confused uncle and aunt, quickly kicked away the insecticide, and dragged them to safety. Meanwhile, the exhausted bully pleaded with the schoolmaster for help, but the man coldly refused, forcing the host to drag his girlfriend toward a cave. Just as things seemed hopeless, another Nifeng appeared, and the two monsters fought over territory, giving the girl and the host a chance to escape. To rid themselves of the lingering toxins, they drank salt water at the beach, but were soon chased by waves of ferocious insects. In their frantic flight, they stumbled upon the art teacher, thinking he might help, but he had already been consumed by insects and was nothing but a walking nightmare. The host was forced to sacrifice the teacher, pushing him toward the swarm, which descended upon him mercilessly. After reaching the beach, everyone stripped down to wash off the parasites, but no one noticed that a deadly worm had burrowed into a boy's palm, a ticking time bomb among the survivors. The parasite crawled to his eyebrows, then 2 green worms took over his eyes, and under their control he climbed a 200-meter tower, called out to a predator, and was gruesomely cut in half. The rest of the group raced to the safe house, but the wave girl locked the door, a heartless move that would cost them dearly. When she awoke, the teacher was furious and tried to attack, but was knocked down, revealing that the caterpillar's heart was behind it all. Meanwhile, a giant mosquito entered, and just as disaster seemed imminent, the caterpillar opened the door, allowing a brief escape. The parasite, still lurking, climbed onto the roof to wait for its next victim, but the host, refusing to give up, used the insect's light to lure the mosquito outside, sneaking out with a tape recorder to attract it to a streetlight. There, he managed to electrocute the mosquito with 100,000 volts, burning it to ash. After this harrowing escape, the group agreed that the host and the mosquito were their trump cards, so they tied them up and threw them into the survival hut to fight, before continuing their desperate journey. Now, after all they've endured, the question remains, do you think they can finally escape successfully?